Hello, I'm Kyle with ABZ Rental. Today we're taking a look at a nifty TM50T bi-energy machine. It's a tow-behind boom lift. It hauls behind your vehicle on a 2-inch ball, giving you the capability to reach 26 feet out from the base of the machine and up to 56-foot working height, 50-foot platform height though, where your feet are actually standing at. We're going to run around the operation of this machine as well as the hookup of the machine. Starting off in the front of the machine, as I said, you have a 2-inch ball to hook up. It is a drop latch, just like so, and there's a safety pin that's going to run through here to anchor it into place. Chains, as always, cross them under the ball and hook. Lights, it is just a 4-plug light, so you have running lights and brake lights and turn signals. You have a jack right here with a swivel point on it, so once you get it up in the air, you can go ahead and swivel that jack out of the way. Coming over here to the brake up is engage, down is for disengage. So whenever traveling, you'll want that brake in the down position. Whenever you're actually stopped, before disconnecting it from the vehicle, lift it up. That's going to lock both of your 2 axles in place down there, keeping the machine from rolling away from you or rolling into your vehicle if you're on a hillside. Now that we have it disconnected and the brake pulled up, we're going to come back. The very first step you want to do, we have a boom latch right here. We want to unlatch that, just like so. That's for usage. Anytime you're traveling with the machine, you want to make sure that boom latch is latched all the way down and secure. Going to keep it from jumping, going down the road, tearing up the cylinders. First step to start off is your safety down here on your outrigger control. Press down, you'll hear the hydraulic pump kick on. Your front 2 levers operate your front 2 outriggers, there and there, lowering them down. The back 2 are going to operate the back 2 levers. There is a panel right here that shows you a pictorial of each different lever and which one it's going to actually control. We're going to lower these all the way down to the ground until it picks the machine up in the air. The tires do have float sensors on them, so the tires have to be off the ground, both of the axle tires and the front jack tire. Once you have it up in the air, you're going to level the lift using these 2 bubbles here. Bubble and bubble. Having it up in the air with both of those 2 bubbles in the center, you're good to shift back to your next step. I will give notice to a couple things here. You have your DC recharge plug right here. You have your master shut off right here that you can jerk out on that to disconnect all power from the machine. Coming over here, you have a red e-stop, just like up in the basket. Leaving it pulled out is going to leave it in the functioning position. At any point in operation, if you have a catastrophic failure, if you press in on one of those e-stops, it's going to shut off all gas and electric function of the machine. Give it a gentle twist, as the arrows indicate, to bring it back out. Essentially, you really want to leave that alone unless you're having a catastrophic failure. Coming back here, underneath, you have a green safety button. That button has to be pressed in at all times to operate any of your hydraulic controls. Your next one down is going to be your key selector for ground or basket control. Up is for basket control, down is for ground control. Easy way to remember it, the white dot is actually pointing at the ground control right here. Once the machine is up and level, when you come back to this step to test to make sure that you're up all the way, your outriggers, all 3 are on the ground, and the machine is level, press it on this green button. You should hear, right here, a hydraulic pump kick on. It just sound like, meh. That means you're good to go. If you hear a siren go off like this, that means go back to the lower outrigger control unit. You have something wrong. One of your outriggers may not be all the way down on the ground. One of the tires may still be down on the ground. You may not have the machine perfectly level. So go back, get that right, and then come back to the step. You want that hydraulic pump to actually turn and function. That means you're good to go. So while holding in this green button to operate your controls, you'll see pictorials on the top which do show you what each one does. The first lever here will extend your boom cock out. Your next lever will raise your high boom or your low boom up and down. Your third lever will raise your high boom up and down, and your fourth lever will spin the machine 359 degrees. It will not do complete circles. It stops kind of over in that point at about 270, and you'll have to bring the lift back around if you're trying to do that. So now that we have it here, we're going to click up into the basket for basket control. Coming back up and around, we will stop and take note of the gasoline motor. It does have a Honda GX 160 5.5 horse motor on it. It is a 4-cycle motor. It runs off straight gasoline. To start down here, you have a manual choke here to choke over, and it does have an electric start on it. It also has a pull start for backup as well. The first time starting that, you do have to do it from the ground just because you're gonna have to choke it and allow the motor to come up. After that, up in the basket, you do have a a motor start and shut off up there. So if you do choose to use that gas option, you can certainly do that. We always suggest to everybody just using the electric option because it's much quieter on you. You don't have to hear that motor running. You don't have to feed the gasoline motor. Coming up into the basket, you have step-step click lock entry coming up in. You also have an OSHA certified safety harness up here. Sorry, it's wet, it's raining outside. Up top, the buttons look very similar as they look down bottom. You have a red e-stop button. You have a tilt warning sensor light. If the machine becomes unstable at any point, you're gonna see this light start blinking. You'll hear that siren going off. That means get back down to the ground as quickly as possible. Most likely, you probably have something that's become unlevel. Always make sure you bring your boom back in and try to get the mass of the actual lift over the axles before you start bringing it down, if that siren's going off. This is a master off and on key. This is that motor start and shut off, which I have the e-stop in right now, so it's not doing anything. So essentially from here over, unless you're in a catastrophic failure, you really don't need to worry about. The green safety button up here is all you're really going to be using. Up here, you'll see the controls are very similar. The machine does have an auto leveling bucket. It'll stay within 5 degrees of level at all points, unless up here, it's hard to see from this angle, but you have one little lever way in there. It's a short knob. It doesn't extend all the way out. That will make your bucket become unlevel in either direction or level it up better if it's a little bit off. Other than that, the next 4 controls are the exact same as down at the bottom. The first one is your boom cock extension. The second one is your low boom rise and drop. The third one is your high boom rise and drop. And the fourth one is going to be the spin of the machine. One thing to note, looking down this way, off to the side, is your boom trajectory. Whenever you're using the lift, you want to make sure you go up in the air before telescoping out or trying to twist the machine. Reason being, this high boom is pointed straight towards the ground. So if you push it down and extend that boom out, it's going to run this ginormous hydraulic bundle straight into the ground. That bundle right there is probably about $3,500 to $4,000 worth of hydraulics. Certainly do not want to do that. If you twist the machine before you lift it up, all of your junctions up here are all going to get caught, and you're going to bend stuff, you're going to break stuff. So always make sure you go up and then out, up and then twist. And opposite when you're coming down. Always make sure you twist the machine back so it's in this orientation. Bring your boom all the way in before you lower it back down. That way you don't damage anything. The machine does have good tires. Always make sure you inspect those before you go out with it. Customer damage on tires, you are liable for. So if you run over nails, anything like that, you are liable to for the replacement cost. Same thing goes in the back of the machine back here. We have brake lights down here. We run LEDs. They are not broken going out. Make sure you check that, but they are the furthest back point of the machine at the lower point. So it's pretty easy to back it into something, a curb, a stump, anything like that. So make sure you're really conscious and pay attention to that. We appreciate you joining us today for this tutorial on the TM50T made by Nifty Lift. Have a great day.